You sit down in Frisco, you really had no idea about Kansas State's offense because you've been so focused on North Dakota State. Now that you study them a little bit, what are your thoughts on what they did last year and some of the guys you got?
Well, both from watching a little bit of tape and then also seeing them a little bit with the winter conditioning stuff. We got guys that'll compete. We got guys that understand, to be successful, you got to play hard. I think Skylar is a very good leader in the short time I've been around him. And I think he understands that transition can be good, and I think he's embraced it, and I think he's ready to go and have a great spring, and will do a really good job leading for us. So.
How nice is it to inherit a veteran quarterback who has an understanding appreciation for what you want?
To me it's huge, because his ability to sit in that huddle and look those guys in the eye and say, hey, we got this, we'll be all right, and I think he, from what I've seen already, will spend the time to truly get into the details, and we'll have a great understanding of why we're trying to do what we're doing.
Outside of Skylar, is there anything on the roster that's pleasantly surprised you from a numbers perspective, or just something you had that you didn't know coming in?
I would say probably just from, again, a little bit we've seen, watching them, just do some of the winter conditioning, the wide receiver core looks to have a ton of talent. They look athletic. They look, some of them have real good size. Some of them have got really good explosiveness. I think that's definitely a position that I feel good about. The O-line, obviously, a bunch of dudes that got some good size, some guys that have really shown that they can play. Obviously, it'll all be a work in progress, but I think the O-line position and the receiver position will be a strong point from the little bit I've seen.
How similar is what K-State was running to what you're going to run, and does that help some of the transition?
I think some of the aspects of it are pretty darn similar, especially to the front five. The tight ends and the fullbacks and the tailbacks, just getting the tracks down and understanding what we're really trying to do with those different skill positions it'll be new to them, but I don't think it's anything that's just, from just out of this world different to them. No, I don't think that. I think it'll be stuff that they'll be able to handle very easily.
I know it's early, but you're meshing, of course, a number of guys from North Dakota State, Coach Anderson, Coach Klein. What's that process been like so far for the offense?
The biggest thing I think we've all just tried to do is get very familiar with each other. Today's kind of the first day where we're truly getting in and grinding on the offensive aspect of it. But I think from just personalities and those types of things, we fit very, very well so far.
What's it like moving into this building, knowing who not literally built it, but why it's built?
Well, yeah. Excuse me. One of the things I've told people is I played from '85 to '89. I know what K-State was before Coach Snyder got here, and I know how it's changed, and not just facility-wise, but culture, the environment, the expectations when you walk in this building, and his hands maybe weren't the ones that were putting the stones in place, but obviously the legacy he's left and what is here is because of Coach Snyder, and obviously we're looking to try to continue a great tradition.
It seems like you might have to rely on some incoming running backs who aren't here yet next season. What will your message be to those guys as they start entering the program?
Well, I think the biggest thing is because of the style of football we play, the tailback gets put in his hands a lot. They've got to understand they have to respect the football. Taking care of the football, having that thing high and tight, get tackled or don't get tackled, you get up or you get in the end zone and you hand it to the official. And their mindset has to be that thing's like worth $1 million to everybody out there, from the standpoint of it's worth a lot. Take care of the football, and we're going to put it in those tailbacks' hands, so they need to take care of the football.
How unique of a situation is it to inherit a running back roster where you're going to have to bring in 4, 5, 6 new kids?
Fairly unusual, obviously, especially in a program with the success that K-State has had. And I know there were some circumstances that created it to end up this way, but it is what it is. So it's not something you can worry about because it's out of your control. Let's go take what we do end up with and get them to be in a position to be successful.
I'm not sure if you're a guy who likes to play true freshman, but are you going to have to do it running back possibly?
Oh, yeah. I'm quite sure we'll end up at least having true freshmen get in a position to have to play some. So.
Obviously, so often about maybe quarterback potentially being the most important position on the field, maybe in all sports. How much is an asset is to have Klein, here? He can speak so much to their.
The best thing with Colin is it wasn't that long ago he was producing.
Yeah.
there's been a bunch of really good quarterbacks at K-State all the way back to the 90s, but Colin obviously is the closest one that has had huge success, that truly can talk to those quarterbacks about what it means to be the leader, what it means to be the face of the program. And I'm not telling you that one of our quarterbacks will be the face of the program, but if that happens, he'll be able to definitely say, hey, you're all right, you can handle this. And it's good to have that type of guy there.
Traditionally,